Dopamine is the chemical that drives our desire and motivation. Take two people side by side. One is highly motivated and driven in life. The other one has no motivation and desire. There is 100% difference in their dopamine levels. The more dopamine we have, the more we are willing to take risks in life, work harder, and pursue further. Based on this study and others, the levels of dopamine influences how we make decisions, and success, in other words, doing better in life, is directly associated with proper decisions. This is the key point you should remember from this video. The amount of dopamine circulating in your system determines whether you are achieving your goals or losing your focus and motivation, thus sliding into laziness and procrastination.
Now, when it comes to dopamine, we must understand two concepts: peak and the baseline. Anything rewarding in life causes a peak in dopamine levels, making us feel good and excited. After this excitement fades, dopamine levels drop to what is known as the baseline. This is the state where we spend most of our lives. If the baseline is stable, we feel good and satisfied. If it's too low, we feel unmotivated, lazy, lethargic, and unsatisfied. Dopamine is not infinite. Frequent peaks deplete the available pool of dopamine, which requires replenishment over time. Those exciting, pleasurable moments like consuming social media, nicotine, or porn disrupts the brain's dopamine balance. This makes everyday tasks less satisfying. Reducing or avoiding such activities enhances energy and motivation.
Now, when it comes to fixing our dopamine levels, cold showers and exercise are your best friends.
Exercising and cold showers peak dopamine levels and are recommended for proper dopamine regulation.
Why? Because they don't lower the baseline, in fact, they gradually elevate it. These activities promote focus, discipline, and inner motivation. Our mentality also affects our dopamine levels, which we will discuss next. High-intensity exercise directly influences dopamine levels by modulating neurotransmitter systems. This leads to improved mental health and overall well-being.
Furthermore, exercise also heals our damaged dopamine system, offering benefits similar to addiction therapy.
Cold showers stimulate the same part of the nervous system as cocaine. While they don't release as much dopamine, they significantly boost levels without lowering the baseline. Starting your day with a cold shower improves dopamine regulation, increasing motivation for tasks requiring focus and effort.
Now, when it comes to mentality and mindset techniques, in order to control dopamine regulation, it all starts with awareness. We humans are gifted to have the higher part of our brain called prefrontal cortex, which is responsible for logic and reasoning. It is possible to reduce the dopamine peak caused by an activity by simply using the power of logic.
When engaging in activities that spike dopamine, don't focus on the pleasure. When drinking, remind yourself, I'm drinking to socialize. With chocolate, focus on the health benefits rather than just the taste. For fast food, the same. Remember, you're eating it because it's cheap, not for the flavor. These activities spike our dopamine levels, thus lowering our baseline, which leads to loss of motivation throughout the day and on the long term.
This approach isn't bullshit. It's called applied psychology and validated by experts in the field. Someone who struggled with porn and masturbation addiction, this is the technique that saved my life. Instead of enjoying my addiction, I simply started thinking that I do it for relaxation and clearing my mind. And eventually, I got lesser and lesser enjoyment from this until I found myself naturally on NoFap.
A 2022 study showed that simply by shifting our mental states, we can influence the levels of dopamine in our bodies. Thinking about happy, rewarding experiences, or visualizing achieving goals, or journaling, this technique stimulates dopamine production and set a positive, proactive tone for the day ahead.
I know things can be hard to accomplish sometimes, but you must remember and never forget that if you can pass through a tough moment like exercising or doing something that is outside of your comfort zone, you will have elevated natural dopamine levels throughout the day, which means you will be more motivated, have more desire to do anything.
Guys, always focus on the effort. Committing now is the reward itself. This is the secret of long-term success, because this mindset keeps you engaged and stabilizes dopamine levels, avoiding the highs and lows that kill motivation.
This is why many people struggle to finish what they have started, because they are only visualizing how amazing they will feel when it is done.
In contrast, this mindset trains your brain to seek dopamine only at the end, reducing drive and motivation during the process.
So stay focused on the task at hand. Our last practice for dopamine regulation called self-sufficiency. The less we require require external dopamine sources to get through a difficult situation, the more benefits there will be. Here's an example for you. Two individuals are preparing for exercise. The first person takes pre-workout, energy drinks, and listening loud music to pump it up. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. But listen, the second person who taps their inner motivation and doesn't need any of external sources to get the exercising done.
They both get the same physical benefits of exercise, but only the second person gains more overall. The first person's dopamine surge crashes due to external stimulants, leaving them less rewarded as the day goes on. The second person, driven by inner motivation, enjoys a stable, continuous dopamine boost. This leads to heightened focus and sustained motivation throughout the day.
So in this video we discussed about three things. First, we explained how scientifically dopamine determines our success or failure in life. Second, we mentioned that when it comes to dopamine, it is crucial to understand the baseline. The lower the baseline gets, the lower motivation we have in life. Third, we offered you practical tools to improve your dopamine regulation in the body. I hope you found this video helpful and good luck on your self-improvement journey.